Tim May.
Ryan, I know it's really quick, but in a nutshell, what's your take on this game? Obviously, it was hard fought. You guys got some rhythm going on offense, and then whatever it did at that last play, what were we looking for there? Kyle got hit, looked like he threw the ball.
Yeah, they were in the zone coverage, and we needed a touchdown there. I think right inside of 30 seconds, and they were in a deep coverage there. So I'm not sure even if he had gotten hit, what would have happened there. But that looked like he got hit, and then they made a nice play.
Yeah, what's the feeling you got in the pit of your stomach right now?
Hard to describe. Yeah. Just sick. The fact that we came up short in this game. We worked our whole year for it, and we came up short. So, yeah.
Right next door, Larry Lage, AP.
Steve, explain your thinking early on, not going in for it on fourth down, and at the end of the first half, not trying to pick up the first down, before the clock ran down.
Yeah, well, I felt like at 52 yards, it was worth a field goal there. If you don't get it on, I think it was 4th and 2, 4th and 3, somewhere in there. You had no points, and I felt like it was worth the opportunity to kick the field goal at least. If we come up short there, then just turn over and down. So I felt like that was the right move. And then early in the game, around midfield, just didn't want to give them any momentum. Felt like we could pin them down and play defense. I thought we were playing pretty good early on.
Over to the right, Austin Ward, podcast.
Ryan, looks like you went out to get more of an explanation on the Denzel play with Roman Wilson down there. Did you ever get one? What did they explain to you?
Yeah, I was told that it was called on the field a touchdown, and because of that, it was upheld. I didn't quite understand exactly how that was, but that's what they said.
Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Ryan, Michigan had the ball for most of that final 8 minutes of the game. What was, looking back on that sequence, what was the issue getting off the field there?
Yeah, just they did a nice job running the ball, and we ended up hanging on the end, giving our offense a chance to win, but too much time off the clock there. We got to get a stop and get off the field.
Clay Hall, WSYX.
How would you rate Kyle's performance? 18 of 30, almost 300 yards. The decision making, how do you feel?
Yeah, in this game, you got to win the rushing yards and you got to win the turnover battle. We did neither of those things. So, if that's not going to happen. We're not going to win this game.
Dan, did you have your Dan Wenzel, Yahoo?
Ryan, your team played composed. This is a huge stage. So much going on. What did you tell them, if you want to share, after losing a game like that?
Yeah, I try to keep what we talk about in the locker room to ourselves, but we're all disappointed. We know that what this game means to so many people, and so to come up short is certainly crushing, not only just because you invest your whole year in it. We know at Ohio State what this game means, and so there's a locker room in there that's devastated, and it wasn't a lack of effort, but again, we didn't win the rushing yards, we didn't win the turnover battle, so you're not going to win a game.
Is it possible to close the door in the back over here? Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Ryan, you guys got points on all 4 second-half drives series. What did you see out of that they were able to get success and points on every drive?
Yeah, I felt like they were able to establish a run a little bit there and kept a good rhythm going. I felt like that happens a lot in games like this. You kind of go back and forth a little bit in the second half, so that was fairly normal. I felt like the guys were doing a good job early on in the game, but ultimately it comes down to getting stops and then finishing drives on offense.
Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
Right, you mentioned the lack of rushing success. Did you see any common denominator as to why you weren't able to get any traction there?
I think there was some traction for sure. Yeah, there was certainly one drive in particular. I felt like we were really rocking off the ball and we were doing a good job. I don't know ultimately what the final numbers were, but I feel like when you go into this game, you gotta win rushing yards, and it didn't happen. I don't know what the final numbers were. They had more than we did, and that's a big part of controlling the game. Certainly has to do with the last couple of drives, and then also and then turnover battle. And I'd like to say it's more than that, but I'm not sure it is.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Ryan, I apologize if you're asking before, but the early interception, what happened on that play? How did you feel like you were quite not feeling that thing?
Not a good start. You want to have a quick start. The kid made a nice play. Johnson jumped inside on a slant and made a nice play. I have to see it on film, but I know he's playing a little bit inside leverage there. And Kyle, I think just kind of fired in there and on a slant play, it's a bang bang play, and then so we'll have to look at the film and find out exactly what took place on the play. But that's what I saw from my vantage point. That was the communication that we had on the sideline.
Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Ryan, you mentioned working this game all year. Michigan has a running back throw. They go for it on fourth down a few times, have some creative plays. Where did you guys maybe not have those type of plays in the book, or did you, and did they just not work?
No, I mean, I felt like we had some good stuff. I felt like, we kind of got in a little bit of rhythm there in the second half. I thought some of the runs really hit. I thought a couple explosive plays. I don't know what the explosive play breakdown was. That's usually something we figure out afterwards. But I thought we were fairly explosive because that is a big factor in this game as well. So I'll have to look and see. But I thought when you look at it, how do you create explosives? I felt like, that part, we were doing a pretty decent job on offense.
Right next door, Steve Hellwagon, 24/7
Coach,
Sports.
offensive line, it seemed like Kyle was under duress quite a bit today, and gets hit on the interception there at the end. Just, I don't know, it was something you guys kind of fought, it seemed, all season. Just where do you leave with that?
Yeah, I'll have to watch it. Sometimes you get out of these games and it's hard to figure out. I think there were some good things. In terms of moving guys, a couple of those drives were pretty good. I thought some of the protection was good, but like you said, not consistent enough.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
I'm sorry if you guys, but you had a timeout left at the end of the first half, and you settled for a field goal there. Maybe you could have been a little bit more aggressive. Why take that approach at the end of the first half?
Yeah, they asked it before. I think it was 4th and 2, or at least a long 2, maybe 3. And I felt like at that point we had an opportunity to kick it was a 52-yarder, and I felt like that was probably the right thing to do. If we can get 3 points coming out of the half, especially starting the ball on the 2-yard line, was probably the right move. If you make it, you feel great. If you don't, you don't. So we missed it, and so certainly, we'll second guess everything. But if you don't convert on that 4th and 3, then you don't get anything. So I felt like at that time that was the right move.
Pat 40, do you have your hand up? Yep.
Yeah.
Pat.
Ryan, do you believe your team is a playoff team?
Ooh, I haven't even thought that far, Pat. Just playing in this game, everything's just so focused on this game. I'd have to kind of process that. I think we have a very good team. We came up short today, and it's devastating. But I believe in our players. I think we have a veteran team. I think we have a team that is solid in all 3 phases. And I'd have to kind of see what else is out there. Honestly, I've just been so focused on this game. I appreciate the question. I just don't have a great answer for you right now. But I do believe that this team can play with anybody in the country.
And take a couple more just for Coach. Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Ryan, obviously, the past 2 years have all been about trying to avenge the loss, and it doesn't happen again this year. Just where do you go from here now that you're in this situation for a 3rd time?
Yeah, again, it's just after the game, so it's hard to start thinking about all that. Just trying to process the game right now, and then we'll go from there.
And final question, Larry Lage, AP.
Just to go back to that end of the first half, what I was asking, you had like 30 seconds left. My question is, what was the thought process to not try to call a play to convert the first down when you had 30 seconds left, and then maybe call a timeout?
Because it was 4th down, right?
Yeah, it was 4th down. You had about 30 seconds left. Ran the clock down. My question is the thought process to not call a play with 30 seconds left, try to convert, and then maybe call a timeout or spike it or whatnot. The thought in that live time.
Right.
That's my question.
Yeah, so if you go for it on 4th down and don't get it, the other team gets the ball. So I thought at that time the best thing to do was to decide to go for a field goal. So whether it was the end of the half or if it was 8 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter, I would have made the decision to kick a field goal. So I just wanted the clock to run down so we're out of the half. So whether there was 30 seconds on the clock at the half or not, the decision was made to make a field goal, and I felt like might as well run it down and then make that the last play of the half.
Coach, thank you very much.